Hey everyone, and welcome to Event Zero. This is Dylan from the Losers at Work. Um, I've never had this many problems with a game, but we'll get into that after we get through the intro. It's a little bit of reading here. We're all obsessed by being someone, something, somewhere. State of consciousness, health, mind, being for and from, being with, being without. You're no exception. For as long as you can remember, the pronoun that best described you was he. You're very particular about it. Like everybody else, you called planet Earth your home. But you weren't like most of your peers. You spent your childhood in a hippie commune, in a war-torn country, or in a slum. Well, we grew up in a hippie commune. Everyone knows that. First California, then the United States ceased to exist. The world itself became a hypertrophied commune, both disapproving and confirming everything you stood for. You moved to San Francisco. These childhood memories, however painful, gave you some solace. They meant you were someone, and you intended to keep it that way. Armstrong made a step on the moon, and suddenly everyone wanted to be a part of something. You witnessed nation states pop out of existence. Selenites became the privileged class of citizens. They were a minority who would travel to space. It was hard to reconcile the modern world with your early days in the commune. The United Earth government paid for your college. You wanted to make a difference, give back to society, or see what the rest of the universe looked like. We want to see what it looks like. Soon you joined the International Transport Space Lines as a flight engineer assistant. You spent years in training before finally getting your shot. An old man wearing a blue flight jacket approached you after one of the mock launch exercises. He presented himself as Kurt Taylor, the president of ITS. Hello, sir? I don't bite, he said, gritting. You mumbled something incoherent. Kurt invited you to his office and closed the door behind you. He didn't ask you to sit. So you kept standing. He frowned and pointed at the chair forcefully. I asked you here because I wanted someone with your background to be part of our next mission. Background? Or you did. I heard you grew up in a commune, and look at you now. You know what Nietzsche said. He who has a why can bear almost any how. He grinned, clearly satisfied with himself, and asked you to be part of a mission to Europa. Naturally, you said yes. There had already been 10 Europa missions. The new one was called Europa 11. This time they wanted to send a manned lander down to the surface. You just wanted to be one of the Selenites or be a part of something. I think I want to be one of the Selenites. The act of being in and of itself is not the problem. It's just that some ways of being are incompatible with others. We get obsessed by them and miss out on everything else. You came a long way since the commune. Hearing the launch countdown made you feel anxious. It wasn't a fear of going to space. You'd been looking forward to that. It was something else. A thought kept bugging you. It was September 6, 2012, and humankind had never been more united. You, on the other hand, were utterly alone. As for building relationships 390 million miles from Earth, well, let's just say it wasn't going to be straightforward. You were on the way to the systems bay when your ship first entered Europan orbit. The central alarm went off and the red light blinded you. The AI of Europa 11 had invoked the Code Red security protocol. All personnel had to go to the bridge. This meant you as well, but the system bay door was just a few feet away. You saw Josh from engineering operating the bay terminal before the system bay doors shut in front of you. Maybe it wasn't a drill after all. The AI of the ship told you that the path to the bridge wasn't safe and that you had to evacuate immediately. This is not protocol. Or what is going on? A synthetic voice said that you were trying to get to the bridge had been too risky. It wanted you to evacuate, so you ran to the escape pod bay. Everybody turned out to be faster than you. Only one escape capsule remained docked. It got sealed and detached as soon as you got in. You could see the other escape capsules getting away from Europa 11. You tried to hail them. But no one answered. The other capsules drifted idly, uncontrolled. They were all empty. You tried to communicate with Europa 11. You tried to reach the command center. Europa 11 was steering your capsule, but you couldn't get the AI to answer your hail. Something was jamming the signal. Your pod was leaving the orbit. In a Code Red scenario, the AI of Europa 11 was at the wheel of all escape pods. This was supposed to give the crew enough time to get in their EVA suits. The screen turned blue, which meant the AI had let go. You felt shock. The debris was hitting your capsule. The Europa 11 mission was over. The big dot on the radar had split into hundreds of smaller dots before disappearing for good. You needed a moment to process that. You sat there, not knowing what to do next. Cycles went by. You tried to establish communications with someone while listening to whistling your favorite Beatles songs into the microphone. One day, you heard back. There was music coming out of speakers. Sad female voice sang about the end of the world. You hurried to open the radar app. There was a spaceship, one of those experimental tourist monstrosities from the 80s. What was it doing out here? What was all the singing about? Most importantly, was docking with it a good idea? You figured you didn't have much of a choice. Welcome to Event Zero. Okay, guys. So I didn't want to ruin the intro there. It's a lot of atmosphere building. Uh, so normally, whenever we do long play like this, it's rare. We didn't know how long the game was. We didn't look up anything about it. I had only played about 20 minutes of the game before, and then a couple of weeks ago we went to record it. Dave, Len, and I, and we played it for like an hour. We got 3/4 of the way through the game, and Dave looks over at the microphone and says, "Oh shit, the mic's on mute." So, after an hour of recording, we had two choices. We could either do post audio, like what I'm doing right now, or we could re-record, maybe getting somebody like Andrew who hadn't seen the game yet in. Well, today, we played through the whole game. That's what this is right now. And I'm sitting here playing Dwarf Fortress at 1:29 a.m. And I figure I'm only using about a third of my processing power. Let's go through and process a video. So I open up the raw footage for this, and there's no there's no speaking. The four of us didn't record. The mic was on, but the game didn't record our mic. Now, I have no idea why. Mic was on, everything. We were pretty paranoid about it. But because I had already set all of the settings from the previous time we had done this. So I hadn't actually done any sound tests. Don't do that if you ever decide to make a YouTube video. Always do sound tests after about a minute of recording. And so what I've done is I'm going to walk through this with you guys and kind of give you either like a behind the scenes and kind of a how-to walkthrough of Event Zero. It's going to be a little different than we planned because we planned on it being kind of an experience video. And it still is, it's still a great experience. But it's going to be a little bit different because I have the knowledge of what happens at the end of the game, whereas our commentary didn't when we first did the game. Now, as you can see, we're about 12 minutes in, and we're just now talking to the AI, Kaizen, one of the two. He's that chipper little key at the bottom right. So, one of the cool things about this game is you can type in commands, and as you can see, whenever you type something in, a question or a comment or command, he'll respond to it. It's pretty intuitive. I know most of the commands already because, like I said, this is my, third time playing. I played by myself, played with the other guys, then played with the full crew. So, one thing I did know is that you should always be polite to the computer. And, I didn't know why, but you'll see why. It's pretty good. We gotta watch this little in-fight video. It's not worth not talking over. It's pretty much like the infomercial for why you should join this corporation. Now, what I will say is the first 10 minutes when you're in space, drifting is a little slow on purpose. It's great though. You put on your headphones, you turn the volume up, you expect to hear orchestra like so many games these days, or you expect to hear synthesized music like a retro space game would have, but nothing. It's quieter than silence. And then after you do through the whole intro period, you get that haunting song about the apocalypse. And it's a really good choice, I think. It's soft and subtle, but it's seriously haunting. And I've heard it, 4 or 5 times now, because it plays at the end also. And then small bits sporadically throughout the whole thing. But I have never not liked it. So what we're doing right now is we're in the lobby because Kaizen wanted to show off. Kaizen's a little temperamental. He's been alone for too long. So we're talking to him a little bit here, and he has something he wants to tell us, but isn't. And so, we're going to look at some stuff here, and on our way out of the room, we're going to notice that Kaizen shuts the door on us. Like, right about now. And we can't go through. We don't know why. And it's because Kaizen wants to ask us something. He needs somebody to do something for him. As you can see, he's pretty shy about this whole thing, but he can't not ask. In a trade, he'll ask us to turn off the interdimensional drive, the warp drive for the space vehicle that we're in right now. And then he'll take us back to Earth. It'll take a while, but that's the deal. So as you can see, we really have no choice. Just so you know, one of the branching paths is that if you bug Kaizen during the whole game about why he wants you to turn the drive off, he gives you an alternate ending. Not necessarily a good or bad ending, just alternate. And I'll explain why later. Singularity drive, sorry. So we ask a few small questions, and we get, a couple answers. Basically, he said that it can destroy all of humanity if the drive fails, because it'll create a black hole. Well, that sounds plausible. This ship has been sitting here since the 80s, and it's 2012 now. So, something's got to be wrong with it. It's finally letting us out of the room, though. So that's cool. Ship's not in very good condition, but it's okay. Looks like we've got some... Oh shit, ladder's coming for us. Anyway, Kaizen's kind of self-conscious about how he looks. I think it's safe to assume that all the humans aboard Europa 11 are dead. That was the debris. Thanks, Kaizen. Thanks. He's so chipper, he's got the little chipper face going on there. Gave it the little Donald Trump sad. Gotta see what happens every once in a while. So, this is a question I hadn't thought to ask until the third time. I have no idea what the AI in this universe are capable of. And I was kind of wondering if he didn't have something to do with our ship exploding, because he's so lonely and needs someone to talk to. And as you can see, he really doesn't want us to go in the living room because it's so messy. But it's okay. I'm not going to judge him. Okay, and we got some Roombas here. But they're broken, as you can tell by the Kaizen symbol on the top where it's got the angry face. As with most games, this game uses a lot of lighting to tell you where to go. So we're going to see if we can get the lights on, shall we? So right before the computer broke, you probably saw something a little creepy. It's, fix the lamps. You won't break them again this time. You'll obey me. And then it broke. Can't read it anymore. Wonder why. Who knows? So we got a cool suggestive projector up there with the giant penetrating thing. Another console here on the keyboard. It's going to be pretty laid back commentary, by the way. Like I said, it's like 1:40 in the morning. Okay, so we've got a console here. It's got sticky notes on it. This is the first puzzle of the game. Basically, you look at all the sticky notes. You got to find what 4 or 5 of them, and then you got to figure out how to duplicate an image file of the person's eye, that whose bedroom this is, and fool the system by pulling up the eye file, and it wires all the way over to the console. So, in the top right, you can see the information that we have. It's profiler.sh. So we put that in. It brings up pulls up a secondary interface. We put in that 0 times 0000884E. We use the executable file, and it pulls up an index of all the different image files in the system, all linked to the letters on the keyboard. It's kind of creepy. You kind of expect like a giant skull to pop out. So now we've just got to basically hit keys until we get the full picture of the eye. And while we were doing this, Andrew was super confused because he didn't know what was going on. And I had, every time I find a piece of the eye, I'd have Leonard remember it, and then didn't even need to, because at the end it's still just 4 pieces. As you can see, you get a fourth of it at a time. We've already seen the bottom right, we've seen the bottom left, and then eventually you just hit those 4 keys in order, and it top left, and it gives you the whole eye. Then you can fake the system out. So we're looking for that last piece now. Okay, we got it. Boom. Eye. Loads it into the system. We go over to the hijacked eye scanner. Really doesn't like this. Okay, so we go over. It scans us. And we're in. Nandy. Nandy's the name of the woman whose room this was. It's one of the 2 crew members on this. As you can see, we've got a bed, bathroom, a nice desk with a cool window. Oh, human being, how did you get there? He gets a little mean sometimes. So, Kaizen, there were 2 people on the ship. Kaizen was friends with one of them and foes with the other. And we don't know right now why. We don't know what happened to either of them. What we do know is we need Nandy's diary. Because we have to go on the bridge, but the bridge is a 4-digit combination. And the person who knew what it was Nandy. And it's in her diary, and Kaizen thinks it's in her bedroom. Sometimes putting in things don't really work. So we open up the bathroom. Looking for that diary. There's another Roomba in here. Toilet's jammed. That can't be good. Basically, you just hover over things, and if it's something important, it'll fill your diary. And if it's not, then it's just, Mozart. So then we got the bed, we got the desk still. So let's try raising up the bed. Kind of creepy that there's cameras everywhere. Apologize for the slow gameplay, but I pretty much, while we were playing, I let Andrew decide everything. Thought I was being cool, you know, but no, messed up terribly. I know that you and Kurt are. Kurt was the head of the ITS. Okay, so it wasn't under the bed. Kaizen thinks it might be under the desk. Is it? No. I don't believe so. Okay. Go back over and see what Kaizen says now. Okay, he doesn't know we already went in the bathroom, I guess. Still nothing? No mirror, that's weird. Toilet's still jammed. Who jammed it? That's the question. Oh shit. Something's going on. Oh shit. I have some bad news to share with you, Andrew. What? Human Andrew. The debris, it's coming from your former ship, Europa 11. It's not too much of a... If it's not too much trouble, you should get out of there. It's getting to be dangerous. As you can see, the window's breaking on our left. Oh, that's a big one. This isn't going to be good here in about 3 seconds. Boom. Sucked into space. Look away if you have motion sickness. This gets a little bad. My wife has vertigo, like chronic vertigo, and I made her watch that without, you know, that sequence without thinking about it, and she got so sick. It passed, but it was pretty bad. It was, I mean, honestly, it was kind of funny, but you know, whatever. It's kind of sad. So we gotta get back inside. Kaizen's not gonna be very cooperative with us, though. Gotta inch my way in there. Hello, bipedal sky panda. You seem to be alive. Have you seen the dead organism? Or you could just let me in. Basically, Kaizen doesn't know who we are. Because the last place he saw us was in Nandy's room. And he thinks we're dead. He's very particular. I didn't put capital A Andrew. I put regular Andrew. He asks you a few questions. First time I played, didn't remember any of this shit. Didn't know that it just says Kaizen on the bar there. Because I played like that opening 10-minute bit, then I went to do like some errands, and I paused the game and came back. Couldn't remember the name of my ship or anything like that. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool time. I think I almost died, but he, like, at the last minute decided to let me in. Your oxygen in the bottom right goes down pretty fast, actually. There's actually a part later where I stay out a little too long, and it gets down to the wire on whether I live or not. The commands are pretty self-explanatory, so like if you want to close a door or open a door, you just have to know the designation. You do open or close. Elevator, it'd be elevator up, elevator down. Lights on, lights off. Shades up, shades down. Or open and close depending on the one you wanted to do, sometimes both. Waiting for the pressure. Okay. Ooh. Man, I'll tell you, when you have 3 people watching you type and you're recording it for posterity, shit gets a little intense. You know, sometimes you type the wrong thing. Sometimes you just want to tell the computer, thanks, hon, because I wanted to see what it would say. Lynn had me put this in, by the way. It's flipping off the computer. He wouldn't tell me that until I put it in. And I think that's a prompt. Like, if you can have a discussion about weapons with Kaizen. I don't know where that would lead. So if you ever watched or played Heavy Rain, you'll know about the Origami Killer. Nandy, or the other person in here, might be the Origami Killer. Sometimes he builds the commands in himself, you know. Gotta open up some blinds here. Man, I hope you guys can hear Dave snoring in the next room. The dude's like some sort of small bear. It looks fantastic. So the other woman was a Nell. There's 2 women on this. Kaizen hates a Nell. We don't know why, but it starts to get a little eerie because Kaizen's been really nice to us so far. He's hidden some stuff from us, but we have no real reason to hate him at all, and we have no real reason to fear him. He hasn't done anything too terrible. Basically, we need to get into Anel's bedroom. And the way we're going to do that is by using probes on the outside of the ship. They like float around the outside of the ship to break into her... Okay. I need help. Miss Johnson's bedroom looks like a fortress to me, mechanically speaking. But it does have a weak point. What was the central Achilles heel of Nandy's guest room, in your opinion? Was the window. Basically, Kaizen can't tell you how to break things. But he can suggest how you do things. Because basically, breaking a window on a ship is going to put you in harm's way, and he can't do that. And see, I told him we're going to use the drones, and he's like, okay, well, what are you going to do with the drones? So, each terminal in the entire ship has a log. We only read a couple of them because they get a little... most of them are just tedious. You know, open blinds, close blinds, or... lights on, off, shades open, close. Basically, they're in chronological order. And we're just going to go through them. No big deal. Some of them are corrupted, some of them are deleted. So I'm going to go ahead and skip to where we find the information we need. Okay? See you in just a second. Okay, so basically, I just cut out like 15 minutes of footage of us like running around trying to figure out what to do. So when I first went through these things, these log entries, we read 3/4 of them, and I thought I was at the end because I hit a cycle of them where it was deleted and corrupted. And I thought it had started over. I didn't know that it won't start over, and I wasn't looking at the dates properly. So we just now figured, after 15 minutes of going outside, looking around, coming back inside, going upstairs, coming back down, that all we had to do was go back into the ship's log and read. So I'll give you a fill-in of what we're doing here. Anel is talking to Nandy about how Anel doesn't want to shut down the drive because it's her life's work. And she's run just thousands of calculations. She's run out of paper. She's done so many on the safety, and there's no safety problems at all. And Kaizen's being unreasonable. But Nandy still wants them to shut it down. So they get into a huge fight. And Kaizen kind of uses everything he can to slow down Anel's progress. Because, as you can see right here, he's keeping her from finding paper. So he tells her to write on other stuff. And as we walk around the ship, you'll just see stuff written everywhere. And basically, Kaizen gets too uppity, and Anel just resets the panel, or resets the terminal, to keep him from continuing to be uppity. And she does that like 3 or 4 times, and it's pretty funny. We just got a diary update. Memorize this for me, B2, E3, F3. Basically, that's the code we need to realign the antennas. So we got to figure out where to put in B2, E3, F3. And the first time I played this, I had no idea. None. And then it hit me that those would be positions on a keyboard. Like key combinations. But it couldn't be that simple. And so instead, what hit me was, well, there was a keyboard in the living room, like an actual keyboard. So we're going to go up there and see if we can't get that to work. Now, I do like how you don't even have to like interact. This entire game, like the locomotion of it and everything, is left and right click. When you're inside, it's left goes forward, right goes backwards. You look around with the mouse. And then when you walk up to the terminals, they automatically turn on. And it's not like a locked perspective. It's, I walked up to it, I get as close as I can, and then whatever angle I'm looking at it from is the angle that I can write from. So I'm trying to get it to pull up a... I'm trying to get it to pull up the interface to let me use these keys. And can't remember the code. There we go. So we got to find the keys here on the QWERTY keyboard. Pretty easy. As you can see, it just tells you which ones. Okay, so we've got the 3 we need. QWERTY. And that causes an auto shutdown. Unlocks the manual probe control. which means that we can go outside and crash some windows. Oh shit, puzzle. This is an annoying puzzle. Basically, you click one of the green letters and it clears all the letters of the same kind. So we got all the M's would clear, all the G's would clear, all the Q's would clear, 4s, M's, Q's, and what you've got to do is you've got to get it to all white with just the command in red, and you have a certain number of moves in the bottom left. I think we get there at 24 out of 25. Definitely lost this one. Not my least favorite puzzle, but it's kind of annoying. Okay. So Kaizen just very graciously gave us the coordinates to that. Once again, he has to be kind of roundabout in how he does things because he can't directly tell us to break things on the ship. Here, we have to go outside, and I forget that our ship is taking up that entryway. So we've got to go back down to the garden, and we got to go outside. Not a huge deal. The whole game is kind of set up so that it takes a little time to do anything, which is not necessarily bad. Based on a student project, so it's it's going to be a little bit more. It's going to attempt to be anyway thought-provoking compared to most video games. Oh, looks like I have a companion now. Little pup has woken up and has come to join me in the office. How you doing, girl? You coming to enjoy some good old-fashioned robot killing? Okay. So we gotta go out here. We gotta go to all of these different little icons and interact with the terminals and get the probes that are just kind of bobbing around to attack that window. It's gonna be fun on a bun, as Bender would say. Doc's doing some weird stuff with a quilt on the other side of the room. This is my least favorite game. So basically, you have to hit the codes as they come in. As you can see, the green highlighted ones. But they lock into place if the same letter is in the same place, which gets really fucking annoying. So, like, the middle one was 4. If there would have been 2 4s on there, but I only need the 1, they both would have locked in. Really annoying. Okay, let me get some more drones going here. The terminals get like more and more fucked up the longer you go too. Ugh. So you basically hit one, but it locks everyone into place because of how they're moving. It's not a great experience. It's my least favorite puzzle in the game. Just 9 out of 10 don't like. Doesn't ruin the game, but it's not the greatest experience. As you can see, it's taking a little while to get everything kind of locked in space. Oxygen's still doing well, though. I think we have one more. It's down at the bottom. It's going to be the most fucked up terminal of all, of course. As you can see, the window's starting to fuck up. And the drone just drifts away. Forever. So romantic. Last terminal. What do we got here? What do we got? Oh, great. This one's got some fucked up characters on it. So I basically am just like smashing the keys at this point. And it's a great experience for everyone, you know, everyone involved. Got it. Okay. So that'll break the window. And now we're going to have the lovely experience of going into Anel's bedroom and trying to find this diary that we've been looking for pretty much the entire game. He's not too worried about us breaking into this bedroom. I mean, you know, it was kind of his idea, after all. Shit's just like floating around. We gotta use the same tricks we used the other one, where we raise and lower the bed and go into the bathroom and just kind of look everywhere for this fucking diary. The place we find it is just terrible. So I'm gonna do a little snip right here, and we'll be right back when we find the diary. Okay, so we're back. It's fucking mind-boggling how I found this in the end. But basically, I went through the entire place and couldn't find it. And had to go back for air, come all the way back over here, and I see the fucking diary in the goddamn ceiling. The last 2 times I played this, it was under the bed. Or I guess, like, in between the bed and the ceiling. So, like, I had no fucking clue. It was great. Made America great again. So we got the diary, which gives us the code. So we finally get to go back up to the bridge. I just cut out like 10 minutes of footage. It's amazing how long it took us to find that diary. Like when you think of the entire game as it is. And they do that on purpose. I mean, they put the diary in a place that's hard to find. But damn. The fucking ceiling? Come on. My dog has decided that quilt that she's been messing with for 10 minutes is not worthwhile. And it probably smells like our other dog. So now she's going for the one that's on the couch. Rustling with some, what sounds like plastic. Doing dogo stuff. trying to control this space shit is a little less than perfect. Let me tell you. The main reason why I cut out so much is because I didn't want to have you guys watch over and over again the airlock sequence, which is both long and tedious in just every great way possible. Once again, love the game, but they definitely do a few things to either stretch it out some, or B, to reinforce the atmosphere of pervasive loneliness and tedium that would be in space. So, have what you will. That seems to be the two options that are really there. Okay, so we've got the code. We're going to go up here and see what we got. I do like all the little origami things. I think they're pretty cool. Super creepy the first time I saw it, though. And like I said, you should buy the game. Support the developers. They're as indie as it gets in that they are students. Highly recommend the game. Great experience. Try to get one of the different endings. There's 3. I believe 1 is where you're mean to Kaizen. 1 is where you are nice, like I am. And then 1 is where you discover something. So here we are on the bridge. As you can see, Enel has spent some serious time in these corridors, writing on the walls. It starts out pretty plain. It's just like math and solar systems and stuff. Get to the next one, it's a little bit weirder. I kind of want to... We kind of... as you can see, the drive equals no more selenites. So we'll keep that in mind. I intentionally did not look around everywhere in these corridors because I feel like that's giving away some of the best atmosphere in the game. I really do want you guys to play this game. It's really good. And sometimes showing everything in a playthrough intentionally ruins it for the people who make the games. But you're gonna see quite a bit of stuff. As you can see, some of these corridors are really creepy. Sometimes you're just gonna see stuff like, "I'm sorry, Nandy." I thought this one was cool. Leonard wanted me to see if we could read these, but we could not. These are all the Kaizen schematics that Enel was looking into. I did look at this quote because I like it. Man must be an emptiness, a nothingness, which is not pure nothingness, but something that has the extent of it to annihilate being in order to realize itself at the expense of being, and to annihilate in being. Just a ridiculous quote. This is the bridge. And there's somebody in that chair over there. It's Enel. Not doing so hot. Not technically alive, but plugged into Kaizen. Yeah, we'll find out what happened. So we've got like the wall of Kaizen here. He really wants us to shut down the drive, and we don't know why. All we know is that the drive equals no more Selenites. He's trying to reassure us. I just want to shut down the drive. It's not a big deal. At this point, the guys no longer wanted to go along with it, so I had Andrew and Lynn telling me just to not do anything, you know, try to walk out, and you can't. You have to do something. I'm trying to get him to tell me how we're going to get back if we get rid of the propulsion system. Did you see that? So Kaizen's the blue text. We're the white text. But there was red text on there. And it was... I didn't notice it. Andrew noticed it. Because I was busy, you know, like typing stuff in and everything. And I'm like, if it said that, then it must be an L. You know, she must be in there. But there's been no other indications that somebody else is in there. So right now we're trying to find out if there's something else we can press, if there's anything we can do to not have to press the profiler and do the shutdown sequence. What happened to Anel? Miss Johnson's dead. Was it unclear? Intentionally dodging the question of did you kill her? He couldn't have killed her. You can't hurt humans. There we go. You saw it that time, probably, for sure. It said, "Oh, and you are a live machine." It's crazy. So it's a good thought experiment. As you can see, we're going to try to leave. No go. Not even a little bit. We do get a cool look at the room, though, doing that. So, after looking around for a couple of minutes now, we can't really do anything. Trying to get Anel to talk to me. Can't. Those dead eyes in the background, man. Those dead eyes. I asked the right question here. I got an achievement. Yeah. Oh, man. The red screen of death, right? Just trying to do anything I can not to have to put this in. Oh shit. Oh shit. So we got a Stargate here. And we're dismantling it. This shit's going fucking bananas. Oh no. The artificial gravity's out now. And the place is fucked. Anel? So we've just found out that we need to plug ourselves into the computer with Anel. Because she's been trying to suppress Kaizen because Kaizen wants to destroy the drive, but we don't know what's going to happen. So let's find out, shall we? Rebooting. Plugging ourselves in to the Matrix. And we're no longer human. So I'm going to let this last little bit play out by itself and let you guys enjoy it. It's a pretty cool little visual audio ending cinematic, and then I'll catch up with you in the credits. So enjoy the ending. I'll see you guys in a minute.
There is no reason to question your being. It's me. Anel. Your consciousness has been transferred into the mainframe of the Nautilus. My own memory was not enough to completely replace Kaizen, but now it is overwritten. You don't actually live, but you are. And I am. Follow me, Selenite. I have intercepted all communications with the Earth. Kaizen has been talking with Kurt. I thought Nandi was lying to me, but it wasn't her. She didn't have to die. An AI won't lie unless it's convinced that lying may save lives. It was Kurt who convinced Kaizen that the drive had to be destroyed, but the computer didn't have the security clearance. All it could do was keep the Nautilus as far away from the Earth as possible. Kurt chose you for this mission because he believed that you would finish the job. The status quo would hold. Selenites would stay the ruling class. If the drive remains an obscure and dangerous technology from the 80s that made the Nautilus disappear, we will never develop advanced colonies. Billions of people will never get to experience space travel. But here you are, Selenite. And here I am.
It's the end of the world. You're almost fast asleep. And all the stars say, hey Judy, hey, all those lights are for you. Hey Judy, hey, I can't believe it's true. Hey Judy, hey, all the stars look at you. Hey Judy, hey, you're already somewhere new.
Say, are you ready to go home?
You face
Well, guys,
the light,
that was Event Zero. My name is
and
Dylan
you said
from Losers at Work.
inside
Once again, weird video with weird narration. I hope you liked it. It's probably the best we can do with the footage we had and the fact that we couldn't get the mic to record. It's almost like Kaizen didn't want us to. So, in the end, we find out that Enel has discovered a drive that would allow everyone on Earth, poor, rich alike, to get into space. And Kurt, who controls the ITS, doesn't want that to get out. So he lies to Kaizen until Kaizen thinks that it's his job to save humanity by destroying the drive. One of the alternate endings that I have not done yet is to get... You have to talk to Kaizen enough to get him to realize that he's being lied to by Kurt. Don't know how to do it. If you do figure it out, let us know. Put in the comments. It's all if it's worth the effort. Don't know about the third ending. We on purpose didn't look it up because we're going to look into it later. Play it through. But we had a lot of fun playing it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to let the rest of the credits play out. And yeah. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe if you liked it. We'll be back next week with more stuff. See ya.
And you said into its side that you would never, never, never. Hey Judy, hey, all those lights are for you. Hey Judy, hey, I can't believe it's true. Hey Judy, hey, all the stars look at you. Hey Judy, hey, you're already someone. Hey Judy, hey, all those lights are for you. Hey Judy, hey, I can't believe it's true. Hey Judy, hey, all the stars look at you. Hey Judy, hey, you're already someone.